A 20-year-old man, who we'll call Michael, recently broke up with his 22-year-old girlfriend Amanda after she proposed an open relationship. Amanda had expressed interest in sleeping with a mutual friend named Brian and tried to justify this by claiming that her doing so would improve their relationship. However, the man wasn't convinced by her reasoning. As soon as she finished talking, he made it clear that he wasn't interested in continuing the relationship. He told her that simply wanting to be with someone else was enough of a reason to end things, and they broke up right then and there. Amanda was upset, and she began crying, asking him why he couldn't just agree to her request. However, he remained firm in his decision, explaining that her desire to be with someone else was reason enough for him to end the relationship. Despite the breakup, Amanda continued to reach out, attempting to reconcile and asking him to take her back. For the next 2 days, she kept trying to get him to change his mind. Meanwhile, the man's friends, who included Brian, were pressuring him to take Amanda back. They argued that he should be more open-minded and progressive about the situation, suggesting that it was a sign of maturity to accept a request for an open relationship. He found this frustrating, as he felt their support of Amanda was misguided. He saw their stance as not being about genuine friendship, but more about trying to be progressive or cool. Ultimately, the man felt their opinions were out of touch with what he valued in a relationship. To further complicate things, he had already decided to go on a date with another girl he had met in class shortly after the breakup. The man explained that he usually doesn't stay single for long, as he feels flustered when he goes without intimacy for too long. Some of his friends found out about the date and began pressuring him even more to reconsider his decision. They told him he should have just accepted the open relationship, and that it would have been better than dating someone else so quickly. His friends even began to freeze him out of their social group, which only made him more certain of his decision to part ways with them. Brian, the mutual friend, was particularly upset, as he felt that the breakup was making his relationship with Amanda more complicated. In an attempt to win her back, Amanda even told Brian that she would no longer be friends with him if he didn't support her getting back together with the man. The man, however, told Amanda not to bother trying to salvage their friendship, and also told Brian to go expletive himself, since he suspected that Brian and Amanda had likely been involved romantically even before the breakup. Now, the man is seeking advice on how to move forward. His friends in his college clubs have largely sided with Amanda, leaving him feeling isolated. He wonders if he should try to make new friends with similar interests, since his high school friends, whom he plays soccer and Xbox with, are his only remaining support group. Despite the turmoil with his college friends, he seems determined to move on and find people who share his values. He realizes that the friends he made to the clubs were more loyal to Amanda, and he's not interested in maintaining relationships with people who don't support his choices. The main takeaway from this situation is that the man, despite his age, demonstrated maturity in handling a difficult situation, making a firm decision based on his values rather than trying to appease others. His friends, however, seem to have a different perspective, prioritizing their own ideas of progressive thinking over understanding the importance of loyalty and respect in a relationship. The individual seems to be surrounded by people, perhaps friends or acquaintances, who are pressuring him or criticizing his decision to break up with his girlfriend. These people, presumably aligned with progressive or open-minded views, may have tried to convince him that he was overreacting or too quick to end the relationship. However, the man believes that his decision was justified, particularly because his girlfriend's actions went beyond just having a harmless crush. He implies there may have been more emotional or physical involvement. One of the key points in the conversation is the idea that it is natural to find others attractive while in a relationship. It's common for both men and women to be attracted to other people, but the important distinction here is the difference between acknowledging this attraction and acting on it. In the context of his relationship, the man feels that while his girlfriend's crush might have been harmless in theory, it went beyond that, leading him to end things. The person writing this response seems to support the man's decision, agreeing that it's perfectly acceptable to break up with someone without offering an extensive list of reasons, especially when the relationship is no longer fulfilling or when trust has been broken. They argue that it's important to set boundaries and not tolerate behaviors that go against one's values, such as being in a monogamous relationship and dealing with a partner who might be seeking other romantic or emotional connections. Furthermore, the narrative mentions how the man took immediate action by going on a date with another woman, which appears to have angered both his ex-girlfriend and the group of people surrounding her. The immediate date could be seen as a form of retaliation, showing that he has no intention of letting the situation affect his confidence or social life. In fact, it's noted that he handled the situation well, showing maturity and independence by not letting the judgment of others dictate his actions. One person in the discussion brings up the hypocrisy of people who present themselves as open-minded, but then become authoritarian when things don't go according to their ideals. The argument is that these individuals, while claiming progressive values, act in a very rigid way when it comes to issues that don't align with their personal beliefs, creating a new form of authoritarianism. The writer seems to suggest that these people, who seem to be more aligned with his ex-girlfriend's social group, should not be a part of his life anymore, as they are neither supportive nor understanding of his personal decisions. Another comment emphasizes that men, just like women, don't need to justify their decisions to break up with someone. Relationships are complex, and sometimes it's enough to feel that things are no longer right without needing to explain everything. The commenter also points out that the man doesn't need to feel pressured to maintain relationships with people who are not treating him with respect, especially if they are aligning with people who don't have his best interests at heart. Finally, there's a broader reflection about how some people are often too concerned with being liked or accepted by everyone. The commenter encourages embracing independence, even if it means being disliked by certain individuals. They suggest that it can be empowering to take pride in standing up for yourself and your decisions, even if others criticize you. Having enemies or facing opposition can be a sign that you're doing something right, particularly when it comes to staying true to yourself and your values. In the end, the advice given to the man is to let go of the people who are trying to control or judge him and to focus on his own happiness. He's encouraged to enjoy his freedom, start fresh, and make decisions that align with his own values. It's emphasized that this is an opportunity to move on, embrace new experiences, and take control of his own future.